Dave and I are taking the dogs today on a very wet November weekend to the Oregon coast. It's just supposed to pour pretty much all weekend, so it was a bit much for taking an excursion where you're outside the whole time, like a long hike or a long bicycle ride. So hopefully we can show you some really interesting things along the Oregon coast, and then the next day we're hoping to cut into the Columbia Basin, check out some beautiful waterfalls, and maybe to the Sturgeon Center. We'll see what we come across, and join us on this adventure. Once again, we're crossing the Columbia into Oregon, and the leaves are still really pretty here. A lot of maples along the river. The first place we're going is the Astoria Column, but we're seeing deer on the way, so I thought I would get out my video. There it is. We're gonna drive up there and hopefully climb it. We'll get some better views in a minute, but this is that bridge we drove across last time we came down here, one of our last adventures. And there is the tower. And it is a windy day, and I don't love heights, so I hope you appreciate that I'm doing this to show you all what it's like. I am very curious, and even being scared, it's still worth it. It's really windy, so I don't know if you can hear me, but there are murals all the way up this tower. Wow. There's supposed to be 164 steps, and I think I read this was built in 1926. Here we go. Built by the Great Northern Railroad and Vincent Astor. Plans to build the Astoria Tower started as early as 1898, with the original idea being to rival the Eiffel Tower in Paris. The Astoria Column stands at 125 feet tall, and there are 164 of these spiral staircase steps to climb to the top observatory. I'm at a landing here. We have to keep going. It's a busy day. We're about to come up and out. It's very windy. The Astoria Column stands on a hill, not surprisingly, in Astoria, Oregon, and overlooks the Columbia River, the Pacific Ocean, and the town of Astoria itself. This person thought of something fun to do up here. Woo! Oh, so fast. Well, we just climbed back down. My legs are definitely feeling it, sitting for 3 hours and then climbing 164 steps. Just thought I would walk around the outside real quick. Dogs are not allowed in the tower, but they can walk around at the park. We left the dogs in the car, and we're about to get them out to go to the bathroom, but you can see our weather is deteriorating. The artwork on the column was done by Attilio Pasterla, I'm not sure if that's the right pronunciation, and depicts Native Americans, Lewis and Clark, the white settlers of the area, the founding of Astoria, and the coming of the railroad. Okay, we are drenched. We did not make it in time to get out of the rain. That was quite an experience. If you're in this area, I really recommend doing this if you can. The view was amazing, and we are so lucky because we got a pretty decent view for a few minutes while we were up there, and we wouldn't have if we'd been even 5 minutes later. What did you think?
And now the clouds are here and you can't hardly even see the bridge anymore. But yeah, it was really cool. That was a great workout.
That was fun. We are in Cannon Beach. We're about to get our first glimpse of the ocean. It's very windy. There's Haystack Rock. Beautiful. The focal point of Cannon Beach is the beautiful 235-foot tall sea stack, Haystack Rock. This formed 17 million years ago when lava flowed through the Columbia River drainage and intruded in marine sediment. Tectonic action lifted the entire area up, and then softer sediment eroded away, leaving Haystack Rock. The town of Cannon Beach. It's really cute. The main street. Lots of little places to eat. We're at Oro's Fireside Restaurant, and we are Fireside, which is just awesome on a rainy November day. Really pretty in here. I got the toasted crab sandwich. It came in 2 halves, but I ate the other half already. Fries are excellent. After we had our fun in Cannon Beach, we got back onto Highway 101 and drove south, checking out the Pacific coast as we went. Just here by 101 at a viewpoint, a historical marker. It talks about Captain Robert Gray commanding the sloop, the Lady Washington. They arrived in the Tillamook Bay in 1788 and were trading with the Tillamook several days until there was an argument over cutlass, and a crewman named Lopius was killed in that argument. So the Lady Washington left right away, and Lopius also was the earliest documented person from Africa to have entered present-day Oregon. And here is Tillamook Bay. This is an estuary area, so we have the Pacific Ocean flowing in and rivers flowing out. And I don't think I'll be able to make anything out because the light's kind of going, but there was a pelican when I first got here. There's a lot of really cool birds. There's a few pelicans out there. Oh, they're big. Well, yesterday Dave and I did the ocean, and today we are making our way through the mist and the forest. We are heading through Portland, and we're going to go explore the Columbia Gorge on the Oregon side and see some waterfalls. We're here at Horsetail Falls. Amazing. This is beautiful. This is Horsetail Falls. We're going to take a hike to Upper Horsetail, otherwise known as Ponytail Falls now. Here we go up this switchbacks. You can see some people up there. This may be my favorite trail sign I've ever seen. This stone covered with moss. And we have about 0.4 miles to get to the upper falls. So it's a climb up, and we'll be coming back down this switchbacks, but it's still supposed to be easy. I think the switchbacks are pretty moderate grade. We're just at the first switchback. We've already got good views. Now we're looking down on the bottom of Lower Horsetail, and you can see it's just right by the road there. So if you get up in this area and you want to make just a couple short stops, there are waterfalls that you don't actually have to hike to. Wow, These rocks and cliff faces are just amazing. There she is, Columbia. Oh, there they are. And we picked this one out of the, I think, 90 waterfalls that are along the Oregon side of the Columbia Gorge because the trail goes behind the falls. You can see people back there right now. Oh, that's so exciting. I'm so excited. I don't think I've ever walked behind a waterfall. There are a lot of people here. This is a super popular, everything along here is super popular. Gorgeous, just gorgeous. Back here, dripping, water seeping through this rock. Wow, this is so cool. This is amazing. We're under a waterfall. Woo! Almost back down to the car. We just seen this train rumble through. Kind of different for being on a hike and get to watch trains. There goes the last car. That was amazing. It was supposed to be 0.8 out and back. I got 1.16. I did a back and forth underneath those falls a few times, so that's probably where I got the extra. And it was 308 feet of elevation gain just going up to the lower falls and back down. There's ways that you can mix it with other trails and do a little loop, but we just did it out and back. It was just beautiful.
Huff and Puff level 1.
On to the next falls. Some kind of old tunnel along the road here. Looks like you can walk through it. Part of a trail. And probably another falls here. We go slow. A big deep gorge. Wow, that's beautiful. These old stone barriers are so cool, covered with moss. Especially with all these beautiful fall leaves in contrast. Really, really awesome geology here too. I'm at Latourell Falls, or Latourell Falls, because this one is right off of the road. Oh, there's a leaf blower in the background. Okay, I'll get a little closer to this falls. I decided to take the quick trail up to the viewpoint. Wow. There it is, Vista House. There are a lot of people here today, so I'm not going to worry about trying to wait until I get the right moment. You can see where it's perched up on this cliff. Woo, wind. Lots of wind. We'll get out there and we'll check the house out, check the view out. This is looking west. Beautiful. This is Vista House. Vista it is. Downstairs they have a gift shop and coffee. I didn't even know there was a downstairs. We came here once before, and a balcony. So the observatory is closed. Otherwise, you could go up. It's a beautiful building. A neat photo album of Vista House, which was restored, I think, in 2004. And they have pictures of the waterfalls as well. Really neat place. A lot of information at the Vista House about the highway itself, the tunnels and bridges. Apparently it was designed by Samuel Lancaster and Charles Purcell in the early 1900s, and part of it was because of the influence that the Switzerland famed road, the Axenstrasse, had on Lancaster, who visited it and they wanted to build it so this is cool, so as not to mar what God had put there. So basically they were choosing natural beauty spots along the road and then building the road along with that. So there's Vista House. Some really neat little pictures. So here's the panel talking about the building of Vista House. So they were using a style called Tudor Gothic. It's octagonal. It was designed by Edgar Lazarus, a Portland architect. Pretty neat. Now let's see if we can get to Multnomah Falls. Additional parking in between the two sides of Highway 84 here, but it is a madhouse and very little parking right at the lodge. I highly recommend using this, and you can see how close you are. We're just gonna walk underneath the highway and be there. Not a big deal. All right, we're about to walk under the road. This lodge has a gift shop and a delicious restaurant. I haven't been there in years. When I was there last, I had some lovely trout. There's actually salmon spawning in here. They came up the Columbia. They're really in bad shape on their journey. Now you can see their backs are just really worn down. What an amazing fish and what an amazing journey they take. The total height of Multnomah Falls is 620 feet, with the upper falls being 542 feet tall on its own. This is the tallest waterfall in Oregon State. Just gorgeous. So we're going to wrap our adventure up by going point 2 to the bridge over the Multnomah Falls. And then I think we're going to say goodbye to Oregon and head back to Washington. That's where we just were. You can see these beautiful mossy cliffs. And there are just so many people here at all times. Beautiful. Okay, ready for it? Nobody's ready for this beauty. So the hike up and back from the additional parking to the little bridge, which is actually called Benson Bridge, on Multnomah Falls was 0.8 according to my Apple Watch, and it is pretty much always a madhouse of people, but it's so beautiful. It's just really worth seeing at least once. You got to suck it up. Yeah, deal with the crowds.
It's worthy. There's a lot of people, but it's still
it's
really
pretty
worthy.
Stressful.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of dogs, but everybody's so happy to be there.